The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
Bike patrol got rolled last week. San Antonio police say a burglar broke into Park Police storage room in the Brackenridge parking garage and stole 10 bikes.
Our Garrett Berger tells us how it happened. He also asked a local bike shop what thieves are looking for so that you can protect your wheels.
According to the San Antonio police report, an SAPD officer was doing a routine check of the Park Police bike storage room on November 6th. As he walked the perimeter, the officer saw a portion of the fence cut and tied open on the west side of the parking garage, just 10 yards away from the zoo train tracks. According to the report, surveillance video caught someone going through that hole. The report doesn't say how the thief made off with the bikes, but police say 10 were missing.
This side of the garage would have been even harder to see last week, but we ran into a landscaper from the Whitty who said they got word to cut down this bamboo after last week's theft.
An SAPD spokesman told KSAT via email that the investigation is ongoing and no one has been arrested. In a prepared statement, he said in part, "This unfortunate event illustrates the brazenness of thieves." The sales manager of the Trek bike shop up the road in Alamo Heights says he sells bikes to both SAPD and Park Police. He thinks someone probably viewed the storage area as a weak target. And as for what a thief or thieves could make off of a stolen bike,
it's probably around $300 to $400 off the sale. It's just a real quick sale. You can part it out, and then flea markets a lot of times where you'll see a lot of parts being sold at.
But if police bikes aren't safe, what do you do to protect your own wheels? Eamon says no precaution is perfect. It's mostly about how much of an effort and exposure you can force a would-be thief to take.
If you have your bike with a big U-lock where they'll need to do power tools, it's like, okay, why would I steal that bike when I can jump into the next bike that only has a real quick cable lock and then steal that?
Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
All right, switching gears right now, we're hours away from finding out whether the San Antonio ISD is going to close more than a dozen schools in the district.
This is a live look at SAISD's board meeting happening right now. Public comment underway. It's where members will vote on the district's so-called right-sizing plan. For months, people across San Antonio have told board members how they feel about the potential school closures. You can tell that is still happening tonight. This evening, that's when those board members will decide what happens. Now, we already know that 4 of the 18 schools that were on the list to potentially be closed have been saved.
So let's run through those. Those schools are Pershing, Collins, Garden, Ogden, and Riverside Park Elementary Schools, those 4 schools. Now, Patty Santos has more on how this is going to impact the community.
There's been an outpouring of support from the community to save these schools, and tonight, this is no different. Here's a look at the schools that are on the chopping block. The district explained that this is an effort to consolidate their limited funds. Many of the schools have low student enrollment, so the district says it makes sense for them to send those students to other campuses and close the buildings. The school district calls this process right-sizing. Even after tonight's vote, there are still other schools whose future are in a limbo.
So even if there's a vote tonight, there is still a lot of other schools up in the air waiting to find out their fate.
Yes, I know our school is going to be one that's still waiting on their fate, will not be voted on today. However, we still want to make sure that we don't go unnoticed.
The final vote would take place after the public comment, and once approved, if these closures are approved, they would be gradual over the next few years. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
In other news tonight, a police officer from Seguin is facing charges after being arrested on suspicion of DWI over the weekend. Seguin police say that 25-year-old Jose Ricardo Zapata was arrested in New Braunfels yesterday. Jail records show that Zapata is being charged with an elevated offense of DWI because his blood alcohol level was above 0.15. He's now on administrative leave, which is protocol.
2 people shot and 1 person arrested, claiming this was all self-defense. This happened just before 1 this morning on Caballero Drive near Gillette Boulevard. That's on the south side. Officers say a 19-year-old man and a woman in her 30s were shot during some kind of an argument. Police arrested a man, but according to SAPD, he claimed it was self-defense. At last check, the 19-year-old was in critical condition, and the woman is expected to recover. No word on what that argument was about.
Now guilty. That is the verdict in the capital murder trial of a man accused of shooting and killing 3 men back in 2016. Now jurors deliberated today for more than 5 hours. This was in the trial of Jacob Brownson. Brownson is convicted in the murders of Pedro Garcia, Anthony Rodriguez, and Matthew Martinez inside of the Northside apartment, as we told you back in 2016. Now he's been given an automatic sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. We're going to hear from the families of the victims tonight on the Night Beat.
Shop local. That is the big ask from small businesses being eaten up by inflation right now. We checked in on some entrepreneurs like Cindy Grome. Her 70-year-old sewing machine company opened a second location just as the pandemic hit. She's managing by offering sales and expertise, but the costs of machines, fabric, and more are way up.
So it's been really tough because the manufacturers, some of them have even raised their prices like 3 times in a year. And so what's hard, though, is that while they raise cost, they're not raising the suggested retail price.
Small business inflation hits hard. We don't have the option to buy in bulk to take advantage of some of the volume discounts that you're going to get.
At that mom and pop gelato shop in Helotes, the owner tells us he's operating day to day and right now isn't sure his business will survive. Entrepreneurs can take advantage of free consulting and training workshops at UTSA's Small Business Development Center for some help.
This is Hunger and Homeless Awareness Week, and for the next 90 days, San Antonio area nonprofits and agencies are working together to house 90 families. 90 families, homes in 90 days. RJ Marquez tells us about this citywide push to feed families and put roofs over their heads this year.
It makes me want to cry because it truly is a blessing to be able in 2 weeks to walk in our own place and be like, wow, I did it.
Mallory Quinones has been staying at Haven for Hope for 7 months, but soon will have a place of her own to call home.
When I first got here, it was hard because being a single parent, having to come to a homeless shelter, it's scary because you don't know, what can happen from one day to the next.
With rising housing costs and inflation, Haven for Hope and other local agencies like Close to Home and Sam Ministries launched a 90-day challenge to help homeless families.
For every $100 in rent increase, the homelessness increases by 9%. Haven for Hope is at overflow max capacity with their family, with housing families.
With the help of Haven and Sam Ministries' Rapid Housing Program, Mallory is getting a chance to start over and give her baby girl a different life.
I don't want this to be normal to her. I want to show her no matter what you go through, as long as you do what you're supposed to do, you can be anything.
Mallory hopes to move in by Thanksgiving.
All I ever wanted was for my baby to have her own place, and now she's about to have it. That's her Christmas gift for me.
As part of the week, Haven for Hope will host an unsheltered open house where people can get anything from food, haircuts, toiletries, and even some blankets for the winter months. That's going to take place at the Resource Center from 3 to 5 p.m. on Wednesday. RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
All right, now we're going to take a live look outside. Live cam there. It's over I-10.
Yeah, I-10.
62 degrees out there right now. And yes, we're already seeing this is a week after daylight saving, right? It's dark. We're still not used to this right now, but 62 degrees out there. Let's talk about the rest of the week, Adam.
Yeah, and we're going to see warmer temperatures and even the sunshine to return. We had the low clouds out there all day today, and they're still out there with a few sprinkles here and there. We started at 54, made it up to 64 for the high temperature, so only a 10-degree jump throughout the day today. More significant rise in the days ahead. A few stray sprinkles out there this evening and tonight. We'll have a close look at authority radar in a few minutes. Otherwise, just cloudy, north wind at 5 to 10 and temperatures falling down through the mid 50s. And tomorrow morning, I think we'll start the day around 54 degrees. And notice that morning temperature trend. It's not going to change a whole lot this week. Low to mid 50s with the average low being 51. We do have warmer afternoons to talk about, and I'll get to that in just a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thanks, Adam. Let's take a look at a traffic trouble spot here. Highway 90 in Nogalitos. You can see a lot of flashing lights in the lanes a distance away from the camera. Certainly a lane shut down because of some sort of tie up there. You can see the flares blocked off, at least one, possibly 2 lanes. Traffic looks like it's making its way around that just fine, though, but certainly a bit of a tie up and some congestion here because of it. Looking ahead to Wednesday, it is our next edition of Know My Neighborhood. This time, we're headed out to Alamo Ranch. We'll be looking at the history of this neighborhood and the challenges people who live there are facing as it continues to grow. Know My Neighborhood Alamo Ranch is live this Wednesday right here on the News at 6. And in case you missed it, you can watch the full episode of our first Know My Neighborhood that focused on Westwood Square. Just scan this QR code right here on your screen. You can watch it on KSAT.com, the KSAT YouTube channel, or KSAT Plus.
And here's something else. I mean, we have so much going on this week, but later on this week here on the News at 6, Doc Talk. It's our new series featuring your medical questions on any subject. So scan that QR code right there on your screen, and that'll guide you so that you can let us know which questions you want to ask local doctors. KSAT 12's Doc Talk airs Thursdays at 6:30.
Still to come here on the News at 6, things are changing on San Antonio's Southside. A look at how this area is growing and how its school scores aren't what they used to be. Next.
Okay, welcome back, but we want to talk to you about what's happening tonight on the Night Beat. Here's just a snippet. Northside ISD trustees are powerless in their effort to remove or even reprimand a fellow board member charged with DWI. KSAT investigates the district's policies that are really starting to frustrate people in that community. We're going to have that story and so much more for you tonight on the Night Beat. But for now, let's talk about the South Side because it is growing. In the last 13 years, 50,000 additional people have moved to that area.
And that is according to Greater SATX. They track economic development across the city. The South Side is home to the Toyota plant, to Navistar, a TJ Maxx distribution warehouse. Max Massey shows us what else is on the rise on the South Side.
I got here and not even within a week of being here, I already had an interview, and then a couple of days later, job offer. So it was great.
Deborah Medina moved to the South Side this year with her husband and her 5 kids.
3 of my kids that are currently attending here, AV honor roll. One of them is in the gifted and talented. So, like I said, I'm a really, really proud mom.
Deborah and her family, they are not alone in moving to the district.
The enrollment has increased by 12% over the last 2 years, approximately a little bit over 700 students, more than what we had previously.
The amount of students, the amount of families attending Southside ISD, it is literally growing by the week. Just to put it in perspective, the district started with just over 5,400 students at the beginning of the year. Already more than 6,000.
And it's not just the population going up in the district. It's also the test scores going up. Southside ISD has had a huge turnaround since the start of the pandemic and since the arrival of the superintendent, Rolando Ramirez.
The school district before that had 6 F-rated campuses and 2 Cs. This time around, this past year, it was an 88 rating with 7 B campuses and 1 A-rated campus.
There's a big push to keep improving, especially as the population is expected to keep growing.
The idea of 10,000 homes and then one day our school district being 15,000, 16,000 students, that is something.
And as the Medina family said, one of the big reasons more and more families are coming to Southside ISD, the opportunities. But with these opportunities, with these businesses, there's more homes. We're right here, Mission Del Lago, one of the new neighborhoods here on the south side of San Antonio.
Well, the market's dictating that it goes there.
Paul Basaldua is the president and CEO of Versaterra Development. He has numerous housing projects set on the south side.
I would say 90% of my dollars are invested in the south side, southeast and south, and hopefully soon to be southwest side of town. You're seeing employers start to go down there, and so that's obviously going to increase housing opportunities.
As for the Medina family, they tell me they couldn't be happier with their new home.
I see my kids graduating from Southside. I enjoy it, and so do they.
Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's certainly
I know,
a good positive change there for the ISD.
Sure.
Awesome.
Okay, let's talk about the forecast out there. Murky start to a new week. Got any more rain coming our way, Adam?
Yeah, tough to wake up on a Monday morning with this kind of weather, right?
You just want to sleep in.
Yeah, but it was Good excuse to have a lazy Sunday.
This is true.
It was. And we have a few more sprinkles out there right now. We'll get to Authority Radar, then talk about the return of sunshine and how much warmer it's going to get, and even our next chance of rain down the line. Let's get right to Authority Radar. Not much really to talk about. A few light showers, particularly in the hill country. We had a few sprinkles on the south side. We had a few sprinkles on the far northwest side. There's really not much out there falling from the clouds. Just a few little drips and drops in and around Bear County. A more enhanced shower just south of Bernie along I-10 that's headed into Fair Oaks Ranch, and then just spotty, very light activity throughout parts of Bandera, Kerr County, and even into Kendall County. Most of it has been farther to the west, moving through Brackettville right now, and this is headed into Uvalde County and a little bit in Rial County and Edwards County. Not much accumulation to any of this activity, but hey, it's better than nothing. It's good to still at least squeeze out a few drops in areas where we need the rain. Most of it Brackettville stretching down to Cade Motto at the moment. But around San Antonio, as I mentioned, not much to speak of and nothing east of town along the coastal plain or even along the Gulf Coast. But take a look at the overall pattern. It's been some good rain for parts of West Texas and North Central and even along the Gulf coastline. And this is just over the past 8 hours or so. Upper level disturbance helping to stir some of this activity up, along with a little bit of surface energy near the Gulf of Mexico, kickstarting those showers. And this system's going to be moving out, and on the backside of it, we're going to have a very sunny week. I think we'll turn to sunshine pretty quickly tomorrow. Let's take a look at the drought monitor, and this is the latest drought monitor. It's updated every Thursday, so we'll get an update on Thursday. Over 60% of Texas in drought, but let's just put the radar on top of it over the past couple of days. And look at this particularly along the Gulf Coast, where we have the extreme and exceptional drought and heavy, good soaking rain, just steady soaking rain over the past few days. So that's really drought denting, particularly closer to the Gulf Coast and along the coastal plain. We put a bit of a dent in it here in and around San Antonio, officially at the airport, about 9/10 of an inch over the past 4 days. Rain chances going forward, nothing the rest of this week, 0% Tuesday through Saturday. By Sunday, we're up to a 20%, and Monday up to a 30%. Our weather patterns are going to become a little more unsettled by the end of the weekend and as we get into next week. And by the way, coming up at 6:45, I'll show you the drought monitor and how much rain has fallen since October 1st. A bit of a comparison with improvements in those rain totals. All right, let's talk temps and dew points. 62 right now with a Dewey of 56. Not too sticky out there. You don't even feel the stickiness. Dewey's in the 50s, and this is going to be the case really the rest of the week and into the weekend. Air temperatures, some upper 50s off to the west, low 60s locally. Most of the state 50s and 60s right now, but notice how it doesn't change very much as you venture northward, even up into Wyoming, Nebraska. We've got temperatures in the 50s. We don't have that really cold Arctic air plunging southward, not anytime soon. I'll show you the temperature trend in terms of the cold air movement coming up at 6:45, but it's not going to get here within the foreseeable future. Tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., 54 degrees. Some low clouds early, then by noon we're sunny and 65. High temperature 70 degrees. We hit that at 3 and 4 p.m. with that sunshine and low humidity. Really a beautiful day, not far from average. The average high is 71. Floresville 72 tomorrow. Bandera and Hondo at an even 70. We get into the mid-70s for the rest of the week and even into the upcoming weekend. So warmer and back a little above average, but we're not talking any extremes here. It's still going to feel like fall. It's going to be crisp outside, and mornings generally in the low to mid-50s.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Thank you, Adam.
Larry, we got to talk. So the Spurs, they've not been doing too well, but Wemby's saying, okay, he's still motivated.
Yeah, and the thing is, we all know nobody likes to lose, right? And Wemby is as competitive as probably anybody else on the San Antonio Spurs roster. The Spurs, unfortunately, have lost 5 in a row. They're now 3-7 this season. Yeah, those losses equal motivation for Wemby and the entire roster. And the Dallas Cowboys hammered the New York Giants yesterday. Mary was there, and she has more coming up. Wemby NBA, the Spurs are still winless against Eastern Conference teams this season after losing to the Heat last night, 118 and 113. The Spurs led the Heat by as many as 19 points in the second quarter and appeared to be in control of the game, but the Heat fought back and outplayed the Spurs in the final 3 minutes of the fourth quarter to hand San Antonio their 5th straight loss and their 4th L against the East this season.
I mean, it's just motivates me more, you know. Nobody in the locker room is putting their head down and giving up, so we're here, you know, we're ready.
We had a lead. We control most of the game now. We just got to close out. So, you know, we continue to grow and continue to, you know, learn, go over film, and continue to get better on the things that we can control.
Spurs are on the road to play at the Thunder tomorrow night at 6:30. It's the Spurs' second in-season tournament game.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Dak Prescott went beast mode on the New York Giants last night, throwing for 404 yards and 4 touchdown passes to lead the boys past the G-Men 49-17. He's now beaten the Giants 12 straight times after losing to them twice as a rookie in 2016. The boys racked up a whopping 640 total yards of offense, just 12 yards off their franchise record, and they held the Giants at just 172 yards of offense. This is the type of performance the Cowboys would love to see more often. KSAT 12 Sports' Mary Rominger was at the game, and she has more.
The Cowboys controlled and dominated every facet of the game in their Week 10 win over the New York Giants. And what we've learned from Dallas previously after an inconsistent start to the year is no win is guaranteed. But Dallas is hopeful this win will help change that narrative.
I think what it says first and foremost is just going out there handling games like this that you're supposed to handle. As far as the ceiling, we don't know what that is, because at the end of the day, we just want to continue to show up and turn some of those losses that we had into wins in those type of games.
You know, we're playing to our standard. We're not playing to the level of our competition. So just continuing to, you know, just keep the mission in perspective for us is what we're trying to do. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we want to go to a Super Bowl, and it starts with going 1-0 every single week. So regardless of who the opponent is and what they're going through, that's just something that, you know, we do a good job of harping on for sure.
Now looking back, the Cowboys won 40-0 over the Giants in New Jersey Week 1, combined with Sunday's 49-17 win. The 72-point margin is Dallas's largest in a sweep of an NFC East opponent. From AT&T Stadium, Mary Rominger, KSAT 12 Sports. Back to you, Larry.
Thank you, Mary. The Houston Texans pulled off another comeback win yesterday, beating the Bengals 30-27 via a 38-yard field goal from Matt Amendola as time expired. They've won 2 straight, improving to 5-4 this season. Good for second place in the AFC South behind 6-3 Jacksonville.
For us and our team, where we are, we're still just grinding 1 week at a time, really focused on us and focused on getting better. From our game on yesterday, really love the fact that everyone contributed to the win. I think that's the most impressive thing to me about that game. True team win, everybody stepping up, everybody made a play. If you were up in that game, you made a play, and that's the cool part about our team.
Texans will host the Cardinals Sunday at noon.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks, Larry.
Straight ahead here on the news at 6, the difference between flu and RSV. It can be hard to tell sometimes. We talk about that and the treatment options and what to know if your child comes down with either. Next.